Welcome back to Cooking with TGI. Today we are doing one of my all-time favorite recipes, seafood chowder. Stick around. Well, welcome back to the kitchen, guys. Today we're doing fantastic things here with this wonderful seafood chowder, and what makes it so wonderful? I don't have to cook it. This is not my recipe. This is Lorraine's recipe. Lorraine, come on in. She's going to walk us through one of the best seafood chowders you could ever have. So take the time, have some fun with this. Do yourself a favor, make this recipe. I'm going to leave it with you, and because you're the one cooking today, you get to wear the apron.
Oh my gosh, this very form-fitted apron. Lovely.
This is great. Now I can just sit back and watch food being made. That's my favorite thing.
You can.
Nothing I like better than watching people work.
It always tastes better when someone else makes it.
It
Do you
does.
know that?
It does.
Right? All right.
All right, so you're basically ready to get rolling here. So one of the questions I was going to ask you, with all of these things that you have to bring this recipe together,
Yes.
what is your probably the most favorite thing about this recipe?
Well, let me tell you. Cooking is to be enjoyable, and in order to be enjoyable, you need to have some wine while you're cooking. In my book, anyway.
Oh, none for me, thanks.
Oh, of course. So we will pour a glass of wine while we're cooking because it's just what you do. You have fun as you go along. I'm not a great cook. It's not my passion.
I tend to disagree.
But I like to make food that is under 30 minutes and delicious. So I've tried a lot of recipes, and of those, we have compiled a list of the ones that are the best. So this is one of the best. There we go, Tony.
Oh, geez. Look at this.
Cheers.
Don't have to cook, and I get to have some wine.
That's right.
Tink.
There you go.
So, just for clarification's sake, where does this recipe come from? I know you cooked it for me a few times, and it's awesome, and many people have tried this, and they really, really, really enjoy it. But where does this come from?
Well, my mother used to cook this a long time ago, and somewhere along the years gone by, I lost the original recipe. So I remembered basically what it was, and I went online and I searched a few, so I've combined some to be the closest thing that I can remember to being what her recipe was. So this recipe I'm making today is a half recipe. So it will give you 4 hearty servings of soup. And for us, that's all I'm making. But if you're feeding a crowd, just double it. And you'll probably get more than 8. It's really great. Probably 10 minutes just prepping everything, and 20 minutes you're there. And it's delicious. So here we go. First of all, I'm using an induction stovetop cooker because we have found through the years, or I've found, that dealing with an electric stove is frustrating because the heat temperature varies all the time. It's up and it's down, and especially if you are canning it all, you'll know you need a consistent heat. This is instant, it's consistent, and we love it. And if you don't have induction pots, you can get a special metal plate that will enable you to use your current pots if you want to just try it out. We loved it so much, we ended up buying a stove.
This is true.
So, first thing I'm going to do is try to remember how to get this on, and I did, so that's good. Okay.
Push it again. No. Hey, well, that's off. Okay, so we've established on.
Tony!
We've established off.
We've established off and on.
On.
Sounds like a computer problem.
And there you go. So now you're at high heat.
Okay.
So that runs up to
So
1200 watts. You might want to turn it down because it will absolutely burn the bottom of that pot.
Okay. All right. So the original recipe calls for butter, but I like the extra flavor. So what I put in is double smoked bacon and a tablespoon of butter. This double smoked bacon is thick and it's meaty, and we figured out per pound, you remember?
Yeah, it was through our butcher shop. It was actually around $10 a pound, and because it has actually very little fat for bacon, it was actually cheaper than buying the prepackaged stuff you get in your grocery store. That shrivels down to a third of the size. This stuff hardly shrinks at all. But it's also locally made to our butcher shops, to their own animals and such. So I don't know if that's the case everywhere, but if you can find double smoked bacon in your
Oh.
store, you've got to give it a shot.
Well, how many times have you bought bacon that looks meaty? You get it home and you realize all the fat is on the other side.
Yeah.
And you get a third of the size of a piece
Yeah.
of bacon. This does not shrink very much.
Very,
at
very
all.
little shrinkage in that.
So,
Let's not go there. So anyway, so off the shrinkage start. So what's next? So you're browning the bacon.
well, the bacon's already been cooked.
Well, twice actually. It's double smoked.
Well, double smoked, plus I cooked it, so I'm just warming it up. And to the bacon, I'm going to add 2 cloves of garlic. I just spice them
So
up.
this again, just a half recipe. So
Half recipe, so
people following along at home,
yep.
you
I did
double
2
everything
cloves.
she's doing if you want a double batch.
Well, then you might want to do 1.5 cloves of garlic. We love garlic. I really like the extra
Yes, no vampires here.
and the spice. So I'm a little generous on the garlic. Then I did half of a large yellow onion. Just throw that in. Get it going. And let that soften for a couple of minutes before I add the carrots and the celery. And in no time at all, you'll see how quickly this becomes an incredible seafood chowder. Because we were traveling throughout the island trying different chowders before I compiled this recipe. And honestly, we don't think we've had better. And
I
not because I'm
order
making
this
it, but
virtually
seriously.
every place I go just to
Yeah, we
test
both
it
did.
out.
Yeah.
And I've had some really good chowders in the restaurants and such. I've yet to have one as good as this in the restaurants we've been to. Obviously, we've not been to every restaurant on the planet.
No, but the
and-
local
or
one.
Gordon Ramsay's restaurants. However, it is extremely good. I would enter it in a seafood chowder contest if there was such a thing. Well, you might not.
Yes.
I'd get you to cook it, put my name on it, and enter it under it. It's
Yeah.
that good. It really is worth a
It
whirl
is.
if you get the chance.
And it's all about easy and it's all about quick. That's my motto. So this is cooking down nicely. Normally I'd give it a few more minutes, but that's okay. So there we go. We've got the carrots and we've got the celery. And now we're just going to cook that down for about 5 minutes. Let it all soften up.
How long do you let it sort of run along at this temperature while you're softening it? A couple of minutes? Or
Well, I like to leave it about 5 normally. I
Okay.
used a whole carrot that's been diced, and I used 2 stalks of celery, just so you know, going in. So I might hurry it up just a little bit because we're filming it.
yeah.
All
And
right.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, this really cooks up so quickly. So next, I'm going to add 1.5 tablespoons of flour. So if you're doubling it, 3 tablespoons. Just stir it in. And to that is what makes it kind of magic. We're dealing with spices. So here we have a quarter cup, no, don't do that, a quarter teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and we have a quarter teaspoon of thyme, and a little dash of garlic plus, just because we love the garlic. And then we put a half teaspoon of the magic ingredient, which is Old Bay seasoning. It's fabulous seasoning. I wasn't able to find it here to buy, so I ordered it off Amazon. But that makes the dish. It absolutely does.
Well, okay, and you've made it a few times before without the Old Bay. It was very, very good, but once you are able to procure the Old Bay, it surprised you how it took it to another level just by
It really
adding
does.
that Old Bay seasoning. So,
Absolutely.
for you
does.
who want to try it at home, it's worth trying to find that if you can. Again, Amazon sells it. If your local stores don't carry it. Ooh,
Yep.
goodness, that smells. It's so nice.
We do wish that you could get the aroma from this. With
That's okay.
the
I'll enjoy it all by
it's
myself.
fabulous. You'll love it. Okay. So to this, I'm going to add 1 2/3 cups of half and half cream.
Sorry,
You know what?
1 2/3 cups?
1 2/3, because you need a little bit more than 1.5.
Ah.
That start to thicken up a little bit, give it a stir. that going. Ooh, it's going.
Nice thing about the induction, it's as close to cooking with gas as you can get without cooking with gas.
Yeah.
The only frustrating part we found with induction is that occasionally whatever's in charge of deciding what size a pot goes on the ring gets confused. So you may have to try different rings on your stove with the same size pot. It's very particular what size pot goes in what ring. But once you figure that out, it's crazy how fast these things come to temperature.
Yeah. And it's great if you're going camping and you want to do some beans or whatever. It's great for that. But yes, you do have to stick to the ring size when you purchase a stove. If you do, if the pot's too small, it will go off. So you have to be...
And if it's too big, it'll shut off. So you do have to size your pots.
But honestly...
Which we didn't know about, but that's all right. It's worth the effort to reorganize your pot sizes to get the rings sorted out, because cooking with it is so much better.
So this is coming along nicely. We don't want to boil it. So it's coming along quite...
No, you've got cream in there, so you got to be careful of that.
Yep, we're good. Now to that, it's our little cheat. We add a can of condensed cream of potato soup. That will save you having to make it. So it's easy peasy. So we're just going to add this to the pot. And we're going to give it a stir. It's already, this is good. This is very, very good.
So is that all the ingredients now into your pot?
That is everything.
Oh, well, the exception of the seafood.
With the exception of seafood. I mean, it's
so
quick.
Pretty basic, really.
Quick and easy to make. Now next, I'm going to add the clams. So Tony informed me that the camera decided to take a little time out and didn't let me know. So what you have missed was that in addition to the clams, I added some prawns that were frozen, tails removed, and raw. And I also added some scallops that were frozen. And I put it into the pot. We're going to stir it up for 10 minutes, and then we're going to do a taste test. Hi, we completed what we started. Now is the big taste test, because the chef's always got to taste it. Make sure you don't need to add anything. It's rich. It has a lot of flavor. And if you wait, there's a little bit of heat from the Old Bay seasoning that is to die for. It's gorgeous. So let's plate this up. I think someone in this house is hungry.
Gee, I wonder who that is. All right, I'm going to get a little close-up of this, so pardon for the wiggly camera work.
All right, so since I don't have the bread bowls that I like to serve it in, I am going to serve a bun with it. It's not fancy plating. If you have some dried parsley flakes, put them on, or even fresh parsley, just a little bit. But look at that. The chunks are there. The vegetables are still a little al dente. So is the seafood. It's just gorgeous. So this is it for a very simple and delicious seafood chowder that your family and friends will love. They really will. We've had people want the recipe, and I don't always share it, but I am with you, so it's special.
And we thank you for that, as it is a wonderful recipe. And I hope people get a chance to try this out, because it really is worth it. And given it's not days to make it, it's just such a wonderful treat to share with people. So thank you, Lorraine, for sharing one of your family recipes. And we look forward to seeing you in the future with some other good recipes that you can share with us.
Absolutely.
Thanks again.
My pleasure. Bye
for now. And if you like this video, please hit like and subscribe, because we do enjoy bringing these to you. Take care, all. We'll see you on the next one.
Cheers.